Hey everybody, it is me, Vincent, and I am coming to you from Islands of Adventure, and today I'm taking you guys around on a little tour of my favorite park. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some secrets and fun facts about each island here at Islands of Adventure. Things you may not know, maybe some things you forgot about. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some secrets, fun facts, and stories about one of the coolest theme parks here in Orlando. So welcome to another episode of Vincent Vision. Watcha! So we are starting off with the port of entry where our adventure today begins and where everyone else's does when they come to the park. And this is a really cool area of the park that I think sometimes is a little overlooked, especially when you're starting your day here at Universal. But Islands of Adventure, and Port of Entry specifically, is a really wonderfully themed area of the park. And I think sometimes people forget how Port of Entry fits in to the puzzle that is Islands of Adventure. Port of Entry is a town right by the water here that connects us to all of the different islands of adventure. If you've ever noticed when you're going to each land here in the park, you're crossing through different bridges because all the different sections are islands. Islands of Adventure. Easy to forget now, but that was the original concept of this park when it first opened up, and Port of Entry is meant to resemble a town that has sort of embraced all of the different weird and quirky lands that have arrived here. This area has tons of fun details to look out for. One of my favorites is the prison here in Port of Entry that someone seems to have broken out. There's a dance studio up on the second levels that have dances like the Stegosaurus Stomp and the Merlin Mambo, a reference to the Jurassic Park area of the park and what used to be part of the Lost Continent, which I'll talk about a little later in the video. One last little fun detail here in Port of Entry, as you're walking down by the water over here to get a great view of the park, there's this mysterious rock right here, and there's a very interesting symbol on it right over here. That symbol stands for, well, honestly, I don't really know. So if anyone knows what this stands for, it's definitely some sort of, it looks Asian, definitely intentional, put here on purpose. Please leave a comment down below because I would love to figure this out as an Islands of Adventure historian. So here we are in Marvel Superhero Island, the most exciting area of the park. This place is designed perfectly to make you feel like you are in the world of the comics. And in order for them to do that here at Universal, there are these giant pop-outs, these giant drawings of all the different superheroes and supervillains. These were all done by a gentleman who goes by the name of Adam Kubert, a very famous comic book artist in the 90s and 2000s. And normally, when you do comic book art, you get to sign your name right there on the bottom of the page. Adam couldn't do that for obvious reasons, so instead, he found a way to hide his name in all of these different superheroes and supervillains in the park. So if Disney has something like hidden Mickeys, here in Marvel Superhero Island, there are hidden Adams. And I'll give you the first one. This one's pretty easy here. Wolverine from the X-Men is right behind me. And can you see the Atom anywhere? No? Here, come on, I'll show you. This one's for free. Right over here by Wolverine's foot, A-D-A-M. This one's a little harder. How about Kingpin right above the arcade? Do you see it? How about right there? This last one I'll do with you. This is Professor X from the X-Men right above the gift shop. Can you see the Atom on him? How about right there? All of the different superheroes in the park have Atom's signature hidden all around, and some are easier to find than others, but this is a really fun way to spend some time here at Marvel Superhero Island. A really great way to kill some time as well if you're maybe a little too nervous to ride the Incredible Hulk and all your friends are waiting in line. Be on the lookout for all those hidden Atoms and tell me how many you can find. Another really fun fact about Marvel Superhero Island is how they make this part of the park feel so vibrant and colorful. In certain areas of the park, they use color-changing paint to transform the land as you're walking through it. Right over here, right by the entrance, is a really great example of it. As you can see, walking in, the panels look red and the other ones look gold. But as we shift and walk through the land, the colors switch. Really easy to miss as you're walking through the land. So be on the lookout for the colors literally changing around you here in Marvel Superhero Island. Ahoy mateys! We have made it to Toon Lagoon, the area of the park based off of the Sunday Funnies. These are where all the comics and cartoons that would show up in the Sunday newspaper live. And I think something a lot of people ask all the time, and something I definitely asked for a really long time, was if these are all the different characters from the Sunday newspaper, where's Garfield? Where's Dilbert? where are the Boondocks? Which would be like kind of weird if the Boondocks were here, but I used to love reading that all the time. These comics here are all owned by King's Features Syndicate. That is a company that owns all of the different comic book characters we see in this section of the park. People like Beetle Bailey, Hagar the Horrible, Kathy, and Heathcliff, and Popeye the Sailor Man. We're over here kind of by like the lake here in Toon Lagoon, hanging out over by Me Ship the Olive, Popeye's ship. This is a fun little area of the park that doesn't really get visited very often, but there's a lot of fun stuff to see inside his ship. You get some really great views of the park, really awesome view of the Velocicoaster up on the 3rd level of his ship. And you have this wonderful little walkway area here, nice quiet corner of the park. And you've probably accidentally wandered into this area before and you've wondered, what is all of this? What's this all for? Well, a very long time ago, Islands Adventure actually used to have a fireworks show here in the lagoon, and this would be one of the viewing areas that you would come to see the fireworks show. Really cool area of the park. Right now, doesn't really serve any other purpose other than a peaceful break from all the madness of the theme park. But as you walk through here, it's very pretty, it's very scenic. There's some fun little visual gags. A really great secret area of the park to stumble upon. Our next stop is Jurassic Park, one of my favorite islands here at Universal. And I'm gonna give you guys a little pop quiz. Do you happen to know where I am right now? You probably don't, and that's okay. I am in Camp Jurassic, one of the most underrated areas of the park to explore. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys see the entrance of Camp Jurassic when you come here to the parks. You know, this is where Pteranodon Flyers is, this is where the flying ride is. You go, oh, okay, we can't ride that, so we're not gonna go in here. But there's actually a lot to see and do in this area of the park. I think this is one of the most immersive areas of the park. If you really wanna feel like you are in Jurassic Park, you gotta come through Camp Jurassic. There are amber mines, caves with flowing lava. Do you know there's a Dilophosaurus cage where you can have like a water fight with the people up above? Oh no. Oh my gosh. I've got to get across. All right, here we go. Oh, oh my gosh, I almost hit a rock. And yes, this is like a kids area. This is a play area for kids, but there's so much to see and do in here, so much to really, really explore. And I think this is one of the best play areas at any theme park ever. Spend some time in Camp Jurassic. I think you'll be pretty happy with what you find in here. Let's get on out of Jurassic Park and head over to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. In 2010, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter opened and flipped the theme park industry on its head. This is still one of the finest theme park lands anywhere, and also one of the most popular and well documented. There aren't really that many secrets or fun facts here in this area of the park that you probably don't know about already, but I think sometimes in the hustle and bustle of Hogsmeade Village, in the rush to get over to Hagrid's motorbike adventure, you miss out on some of the smaller details, some of the really tiny pieces of details that make this land as special as it is. Things like the Marauders map in the gift shop for Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, the chess pieces at the entrance of the land that look like the chess pieces from the Sorcerer's Stone, the Monster Book of Monsters and Dervish Bangs, the floating broomsticks, the owls and the owl post above you with actual bird poop. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter is an amazing land with incredible rides, gigantic, impressive details, but it's also the little things that matter, right? The little things that really, really seal the deal, like sprinkles on an ice cream. I definitely recommend next time you're here in Hogsmeade, try to stop and smell the roses. Or, I guess, maybe like stop and smell the butterbeer. Actually, I do got a fun fact for you. Over here at the Owl Post, this tower up here opens up exactly every 15 minutes, and an owl comes out and hoots to let you know that 15 minutes has passed. It's 11:45 and right on schedule. There it goes. Such a great detail and a really great example of the theme parks rewarding you for looking up. Now we are here in the Lost Continent, an area that used to have a lot more going on, when this park first opened up, but still a really fascinating area of islands of adventure. And this, I think, is one of the best examples of a land that stuck with the original theme of this park, which was storytelling. This land is based off of mythology, and all different forms of mythology. This area of the Lost Continent is based off of Greek mythology, and you guys might remember Poseidon's Fury closed earlier this year. Obvious reference to the god of the ocean, Poseidon. But here, Mythos Restaurant has a lot of great references to Greek mythology as well. Behind me is Atlas, holding up the world, and the restaurant here, up at the front of Mythos as you're walking into the land, the big mouth puking out all the water, that is Zeus, the god of gods. And that stone face right by the entrance of the restaurant is Narcissus, the man who fell in love with his own reflection. You can see his face actually in the water. A little further on, a place called Sinbad Village, and this was based off Arabian mythology, 1001 Arabian Nights. And there used to be a stunt show here way back when called The Eighth Voyage of Sinbad, which Sinbad was a character from 1001 Arabian Nights. Also, Aladdin came from that book as well. It's a little bit of a fun fact for you there. And then where the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is now, there's an area of the park that used to be called Merlinwood, which was based off of European mythology. So this is where you had your Knights of the Round Table, you had Merlin the Wizard, dueling dragons, all different types of mythology in this land. And before Harry Potter took over, it made it one of the biggest here in the park. And last, but most certainly not least, we end our island hopping day here in Seuss Landing. And this is one of the most colorful areas of the park. It's designed to make you feel like you're in a Dr. Seuss book. So because of that, there are no straight lines here. And that includes the trees, specifically the palm trees. If you've ever tried to take a little shortcut to get to Hagrid's motorbike a bit faster, you pass through this area of the park, and you might have noticed some really weird looking palm trees. These are palm trees that Universal did not bend out of shape. They actually got these when they were building this park from South Florida. See, in the early 90s, there was a really, really big hurricane called Hurricane Andrew, and it was so strong that it was able to bend these palm trees out of shape. Universal was trying to get everything ready for Islands of Adventure. They saw these palm trees in South Florida, and they thought, that is exactly what we need for our Dr. Seuss land. So those are those palm trees here. A really iconic, fun story about the Dr. Seuss area of the park, and just shows how creative and resourceful the people were building Islands of Adventure. And that, my friends, concludes our little tour here of Islands of Adventure. Thank you guys for watching another Vincent Vision. I hope you had fun having fun with me learning about the park. I hope you learned something you didn't know about this place before, and maybe reminded you of some things you'd forgot. But if you knew all of this already going into the video, well, that just makes you an Islands of Adventure expert, doesn't it? In fact, here's your gold star. Please, if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, follow me for more Universal videos like this. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.